Hello everyone, this is Ronnie and I've got quite a serious topic to talk to you about. When it comes to a raw food diet, and it's a mistake that I'm seeing a lot of people making at the moment. And it's a really tough mistake to get over. And a lot of people I've seen with my own two eyes really struggling with this, and it's very hard to help people with this. It's really hard to help people with this. Once people have been indoctrinated with bad information and education in the raw food movement, it's a struggle to get them to see that what they're doing is not right. Now, some of you, I don't want to get anyone annoyed, right? But some of you have been educated in with the wrong foundation completely, and there's two different ways of approaching raw food. One is that raw food is like a medicine. But what I mean by that is you get sick, okay, I'm going to go raw. And you go raw for a while and then you feel better and then you just go back to whatever you're doing. That's one way of looking at raw food. There are some people that do things like that. Even Woody Harrelson, there was a film where he was talking about when he feels not well, he goes back to raw. And he knows he has to go back. So I heard him say something like that. And there's probably a lot of people that they know about this information, but they either, when they get sick, they fast, or when they get sick, they juice, or whatever. They go back to raw for a little while, and then they just go back to absolutely whatever they want. And everyone who's ever been involved in the raw food movement, I don't care if they're a carnivore or any of these things, if they were to get sick, they would go back to fasting or raw. Because inherently they know what's best. Sorry, there's a little ant there. Now, because no one eats meat when they're sick. Why would you eat foods that cause you to get sick when you're sick? Silly. Now, that's fine, right? And that's one way. And if that's what you want to do, you don't really need a lot of advice on how to do the raw food diet. You just need to eat raw food for a while, and that's fine. But the problem is if you want to turn it into a lifestyle and you like the results you get from it so much that you want to continue to stay raw. That was my experience. I liked the results so much that I wanted to continue to stay raw. And that was a real challenge for me at first, and it was really difficult. And then eventually I learned how to stick to a raw food diet long term. And the way that I did that was by learning from other people that had been able to stick to a raw food diet long term, and I worked out and learned from them what they did, and then I basically followed what they did, and it worked for me as well. And it works for me as well because we're human beings and we're all basically the same. Now, a lot of you, your ego's going to jump up at that. No, I'm different. I don't thrive on a raw food diet. I need to eat cooked food. I need to take food and put it in boiling pans of water to turn it into something that my body finds edible. I want you to think about how silly that sounds. I need to take food, put it into a confined space, put up the heat to close to the surface of fire for 2 hours, and then I can eat it. I need to take food and I need to throw it into boiling oil so that it becomes into a state where it's edible. Does that sound right to you? That's what you have to do, really? I need to steam veggies. Stop with the steamed veggies, please. So all of that is bamboozling to me that people think they have to cook their food because they're special and different. Well, you're not. You're another human being, you're an animal. There's no reason why you can't have a raw food diet. And there's some scientists even, actual scientifically trained people that actually think human beings need to eat cooked food. Now, I know that sounds crazy at the moment, that they think that human beings are different to every single animal on the planet, that they have thrown science out the window because of their addiction to, because of their addictions. But sorry, there's some big bugs in this room. Anyway, And so what a lot of people are focusing on is detoxification and cleansing, and they just focus on this for like so long, and it's so boring, and it's like, oh, I'm going to do another juice fast, I'm going to cleanse, I just don't feel I've got things quite right, I'm going to do another fast, I'm going to cleanse, I'm going to fast, I'm going to cleanse, I'm going to do a cleanse fast and a fast cleanse and a fast, I'm going to fast twice a week, then 3 times a week, then intermittent fast, and it's like, this is not your problem. They think there's something in them they need to get out. That's the fear that people have been taught. Oh, you've got this stuff in you that you need to get out. And I'd like to ask you, is that what you think? That you've got stuff in you that you need to get out? Toxins, waste, all this. And there's a lot of people that get caught up in this. It's not something to... Firstly, it's not something you can do anything about if it is the case. You don't have any control over that. Your body's dealing with that. So yes, you can give the body a better diet, but you can't actually do anything to speed up that process. Apart from giving the body a better diet and stuff like that. You can't like, you know, colonics and enemas and stuff, they don't get any more toxins out. They don't, you need to understand this, right? When you go to a sauna and you sweat, you're not getting more toxins out. You're getting more water out. That's all that's happening. You're actually mildly stressing the body and making, so it probably doesn't affect its detoxification processes, but the only impact could be that you're actually slowing that down, because the body has to focus on just releasing water in order to stay a good. You're not speeding up the lymph system or anything. You know, you can exercise and pump the lymph system, but once again, the body makes the choice as to how it's removing toxins and when it's doing that, and does it at a safe pace. And detoxification doesn't really feel like anything. What a lot of people feel when they go raw is not the symptoms of detoxification, detox symptoms. It is the symptoms of coming down from various stimulating drug-like foods, especially things like caffeine. That is a drug. The performance-enhancing drug of the world is caffeine. Don't judge anyone about drug taking, especially athletes, if you're taking caffeine to get yourself through the day. So I'm really glad I don't have caffeine in my system. It's such a bad feeling, as far as I'm concerned. But people get caught up in this detoxification idea. It's a big mistake, huge mistake. Because what happens is, firstly, they think they need to eat less, that this will somehow improve detoxification. They need to eat less, eat nothing, let the body cleanse, let the body heal. And then when the body starts to freak out and goes, where's the food? We've got to eat. When the body gets stressed and then starts to send out signals, and stress hormones start to go up, and all that stuff that comes along with when people, you know, don't eat. And when your desire to eat goes up and up and up, these are the kind of people that think they're in touch with their body, but they will deny their body almost. That's been such a fascinating thing for me, is that people will go, I'm in touch with my body. And I'm like, you don't even know what your body wants. You don't even recognize that you're not eating enough food. You don't even recognize that the fact that you're thinking about food all the time and talking about it all the time, that is because you're not eating enough. That's when people get obsessed with food, when they're not eating enough. And when people get caught up in the detoxification mindset, and it's always, they get recommended foods that are just impossible to live on, like lemons, and grapefruits, and to some degree grapes. Very few of you are going to eat enough grapes. You know, I'm going to do a grape fast or whatever, because the grapes pull more out of my... No, they don't. Of course they don't. Oh, I eat grapes and then all this stuff comes... Well, no, you eat grapes and there's all this dust on it, and the body has to remove that. Like, just scrape grapes and there's dirt on it a lot of the time. Of course your body gets rid of that. You know, there's dust on it. You make a juice out of it, you make a juice out of dusty, dirty grapes if you've not cleaned them, you know. So, Watermelon, like very few people are going to drink enough water, eat enough watermelon, or drink enough watermelon juice to sustain themselves in terms of calories. You just set yourself up for failure over and over again. Setting yourself up to crash. You know, how many grapes are you going to have to eat to just sustain normal amount of calories, like 2,000 calories a day? Quickly calculating it, you know, so grapes are often sold in 500 gram tubs, half a kilogram tubs. Each half a kilogram tub is 300 calories. If you burn 200 calories a day, or 2,500, well, 2,500 is about 7 or 8 tubs, or maybe 9, 7, 8, 9, somewhere in that region. You might still feel hungry after eating all that, funnily enough. Is that what they're eating? No, never. They're never eating 8 tubs of grapes a day. But that is the amount for maintaining your weight. Grapefruit juice. None of these things are going to sustain. You're not going to be able to sustain yourself doing these things mostly. Firstly, they're not easy to sustain yourself on, even for people that are experienced in raw food. Some people that are experienced in raw food don't try and live on grapes most of the time. Grapes are a meal, but they're maybe not something you would focus your entire diet on. Grape juice, maybe, as a backup or something, but grapes are like a daily food if I'm just eating everything. I love grapes, and I love to eat 1,200 calories, like three of those, 4 of those. I could live on grapes. I could do a grape fast. I could go and buy big boxes of grapes, but most people aren't going to do that. They're going to undereat. They're going to eat 1 or 2 tubs a day. They're going to undereat. They're going to eat a few dates on top of that, and for some reason, I've seen people eat dates and grapes as a weird combination. Like that's all they eat. So I just caught a mosquito in my hand. Yeah, that was good. Dates and grapes and stuff like that, and just the wrong foods, and they undereat, and then they don't know why they feel bad all the time whenever they juice and whenever they fast and when they do this stuff, and they're like, and they think it's emotional detox. It ain't emotional detox. So sad, because if you go through years of that, if you go through months of that, where someone told you years ago and you've really bought into it that you need to juice fast, and if you do, you'll get all this emotional detox, and you've got all this bad stuff in you, you need to get it out. If you really buy into it and believe in that, you know how powerful that is for people? They hold on to that for decades sometimes. Decades. And anything comes up, they're like, oh, I'm still not emotionally detoxed enough, and they go back and do it again, and then they freak out again, and like, why is this? And they never admit it to themselves. The problem is the juicing and the fasting. It's so frustrating for someone that's seen this over and over again to see this in people, and they don't listen. Why listen to me? I've only been doing this like 8 years. 100% raw. Not that whole time, but most of that time 100% raw. I know how to do this diet. I can show you how to do it. And I know what you're going to go through to do that. And I know all the mistakes you're going to make. I know all that stuff. It's not that much, it's just that people can't accept it. And so it takes years for people to accept it. And that's why it takes them years to do the diet, and that's why most people fail. I'm telling you, most of the people that are ex-vegans, they just didn't eat enough. They just couldn't accept that they had to eat more. There was a whole other bunch of them. Oh yeah, you don't need to do that low-fat thing. I'm going to eat as much fat as I like. That's not going to work either. Oh yeah, I tried that low-fat raw diet, but I'm more balanced and stable when I eat more fat. No, you're not. I'm a woman, so I need more fat for my hormones. No, you don't. I'm a guy, so I need protein from my muscle. No, you don't. Bullshit. Nonsense. You know. Most of these people never sufficiently ate over a long period of time, I'm telling you. Everyone thinks they know what they're doing, right? And a lot of them presented themselves as gurus and experts before they even knew what they were doing. Some of them went to great courses and training and didn't bother taking any of it in. You know, I'm aware of some of them that have the qualifications and the courses and it's like they didn't actually learn it. They just did it so they could get a thing, and then they went off and did whatever they liked. So there's a lot of illusion and fantasy and all, but it comes back to bad education, bad foundation, like this detox stuff. The detox philosophy ideas is wrong and bad and doesn't lead people to better health. What happens is guys, for some reason, end up losing loads of weight. For some reason, guys are really good at sticking to like juice fast. Like they can really stick to juice fast and stuff, really strict. I don't know why, but it seems like men can really stick to it. And some women can stick to it, but it seems like more women really struggle with it. And you know, men don't really want to lose weight, and they do. Women often do want to lose weight, and they don't, because they try it and fall off it all the time. Because it just gets them way, you know. It's just a struggle. I think men as well. Men can like be like real loners. A lot of the time they just go off on their own, stay at home, they have less influence. They have like less people around them, especially a lot of single guys and stuff. Like they just hunker down in themselves, just do their own thing. Whereas a lot of women have maybe more social networks and friends and, you know, people that rely on them, and maybe children and husband and, you know, whatever. So it's a struggle. It's a real struggle if you've got the bad information. Detoxification is just the body's natural process. Happens all the time. Your body's always doing it. And if you think you're full of garbage and all that, I think that's a negative way of looking at yourself. And all that stuff comes out super quick if you go on a raw vegan diet. You know, the idea that you've got garbage in your body that's going to be there for decades. I mean, people like to sell you that idea because they want you to go fasting with them. They want you to do their juice cleanse. They want you to buy their herbs and all that stuff. And they know that you've got a paranoia about that, so they want to bring that out. They want to bring that out, and it's not really real. Now there might be some toxins and stuff that trap in your body for a long time, takes a while to get out, but it's just going to take a while for it to come out. You can't speed it up through juice fasting. And people get really confused when they do it, and it doesn't work the way that the gurus tell them, you know. It certainly doesn't. Okay, well, thank you for watching. Hope you got something out of this. If you want to learn about this raw food lifestyle, check out my book and in the link below, and I'll see you in another video.